I'm angry at myself for not questioning the hospital more. I had a baby at 41 weeks, and my pregnancy had been healthy. Everything seemed to be going well until I was induced. After 2 hours of labor, it became clear that my baby's large head was causing complications. Around midnight, after 2 days in the hospital, I had to have an emergency C-section because things were starting to look concerning. My boyfriend, who had been through this before, was trying to keep calm. They informed me that my baby had a pneumothorax, but they managed to get her breathing again and prepared to send her to another hospital. I got to hold her briefly before the helicopter arrived, and they assured me she would have a short stay. She was already showing signs of improvement. However, things took a turn at the second hospital. When I visited 2 days after my C-section, the nurses and specialists said my baby was doing well. Her lungs were fine, and she was a healthy full-term baby. But the doctor had a different view. Somehow, my baby ended up on a feeding tube and remained in the hospital for 2 weeks, despite the nursing staff having no issues with her feeding. An occupational therapist claimed she couldn't take food by mouth because she might aspirate, based on 2 short coughs during the supervised feeding. Lactation specialists worked with me to breastfeed her, and during those sessions, her vitals remained stable. She never coughed, and she latched well, despite a tongue tie that they didn't notice until later. There was tension between the lactation team and the occupational therapist, but eventually, the OT said that if there were no issues, I could breastfeed. However, they insisted on keeping her on the feeding tube. They conducted a swallow study, showing no signs of aspiration during breastfeeding, yet they insisted that she could only have thickened liquids. They also wouldn't count my breastfeeding toward her food intake to go home. They even suggested she might have brain damage because she was breastfeeding well while they were finding issues with bottles. I'm so angry that I didn't question their decisions more. The pediatricians I've consulted since are just as confused. They've reviewed her chart and observed her eating, and they see no problems. The only issue she had was her tongue tie, which they were surprised the hospital didn't check for. This is my first baby, and I was terrified being separated from her. I felt I had to trust the hospital's guidance. Now, even the pediatricians are telling me that something doesn't add up. I know I have no recourse at this point, and I'm not looking for one. I'm not upset with my boyfriend. He tried to advocate for us. He has other kids and has seen preemies in the NICU. He said he's never seen a hospital handle things like this. I told him I didn't want to cause trouble. I'm angry that I didn't stand up for my daughter the way I should have. I wish I had pushed back more and made more decisions.